Welcome to Take a Wander with Ships. Joining us on this edition is Kamilė Navikaitė, who is a key member of RatePunk. Kamilė, thank you so much for coming on the show. I really appreciate your time. How are you and where in the world are you?
Thank you, Ships. It's nice for you to invite me. I'm now currently in Lithuania.
Just tell people a little bit about yourself.
I am a first-year student now, currently for the past year, and currently working in a travel tech startup in Lithuania. And I started as a freelance copywriter in various agencies, and then I applied for content writer because I got a bit tired of freelance. I wanted full-time job, and so I applied here. But it's funny because they hired me as a customer support specialist, even though I applied for content writer. But then I moved to content and marketing after 3 months. So now it's my second home, I guess.
Come on to a little bit about your passion and what you've got plans going forward. How did you initially fall in love with traveling?
I had the wrong stereotype for a long time that traveling is only for the rich ones. Well, actually, my parents did a great job raising me because we've been traveling a lot every summer and sometimes during the winter time to go skiing. So I've seen many different places, and I never thought I would be working in travel industry, but that I would continue exploring the world or some countries frequently. I always knew that.
Whereabouts have you been to then?
I love and I adore skiing. So Austria, Italy, and Switzerland are just my top destinations for winter time. And then also I started hiking a couple of years back, and Austria also was my first destination for hiking during the summer. So I've been to Austria too many times. So
awesome.
there are certain countries.
Yeah, of course, there's certain countries within Europe, because we're very fortunate, we can get around quite easily, that we can go to quite regularly. You said you're a student, but you've also got a job, this business at this moment called RatePunk, which is why I brought you on actually, because I think it's a fantastic concept and it's a way of saving money when it comes to booking hotels. Tell me first, where did that idea first come from? What was your intention? And what's your goal for RatePunk?
So the idea came because we did our research and because we were trying to see the available or the missing gap in the travel industry, because there are so many services and products that already exist and they are working just fine. But we wanted something that nobody did. So we came up with we found out about Sidestep. It was a company founded in 1999. And it created the very first this kind of a browser extension to compare the hotel prices. Later on, in 2007, I think, something like that, Kayak, the company Kayak, bought it. And then in 2000, then they killed it because there were no money coming from this extension. And then in 2012, well-known company Honey also created something similar like this, and I think it was called Honey Travel, something like that. This Honey Travel actually offered the lower prices by like $30 at that time, but then they also killed this product because and there's not so much information that we could have found about why it was killed. But so then we saw a gap because there are many other websites that does you can go on them and do those comparisons yourself, but those are websites, so you need to put some extra work in getting the lower price. And that's the gap that we wanted to fill in with RatePunk. And this is like the brief story about RatePunk. So first research, and then we just shot our shot.
Before I come on to how the concept works, who are the key people behind it?
Well, without IT guys, we are nothing here. I mean, so the whole startup started with the IT guy came to our founder and said, "I have an idea," and that's how the whole startup started here. And so we have 3 amazing IT specialists working, and also a marketing team lead, because we have additional products as well, but RatePunk is number 1 focus. So marketing team is combined of 4 people working, designer, and our main founders of the startup, because they have way more experience than all of us combined together, and they successfully launched their first startup. So it's old business now, and now they wanted something new, and that's why they wanted some fresh ideas. And this is what I actually like about that, because I'm pretty sure I'm really young for working full time in a corporate company. But I came, I said hi, I want it, and they said hi. Okay, let's do this. So that's cool.
I would always say you're never too young to get into any business, as long as you've got the brains, you've got the passion, the work ethic. Because you said there was a gap in that market. And the reason why I asked that question is because I've been struggling to find comparison websites to look at different hotels. As you said, you have to go to different search engines and then look at it individually. There are lots of different apps where you can find comparison for flights, but not necessarily hotels.
There are plenty flight comparison tools, starting from apps, ending with browser extensions, and some websites. So, that's a big stop for us, because they run successfully at the moment, and we don't want to copycat anything here if we can't improve it. So we didn't want to improve anything concerning the flight industry, but the hotel industry, I was surprised, because my hotel booking habits were always the same. I go on booking.com. I find a hotel that suits my set budget, and I book it. And I have no intention in searching for a better deal, because I had no idea that you can actually play with those deals and they can be different. The idea and the reason is to save money, but also to save time. Because for me, to plan a trip, I don't really like travel agencies. I've tried to travel with them. Everything was great, but in general, I like the idea of planning the trip myself. And it takes me days sometimes to catch a great deal, and it's exhausting especially if you're the beginner in this whole travel hacking industry. And once I got here, I started to understand that different online travel agencies and websites have different agreements with every hotel. So why should I pay more to this company if I can get the same, absolutely the same, paying less to another company? I have no company preferences. I mean, I like booking.com and Agoda, the same. They're the same to me. It's just if one offers the lower price for a particular hotel, I'll choose this one now.
The reason why I asked you about the concept and why there's a gap in that market, but are there any other competitors doing the exact same thing?
There are competitors. People say to us that they are our competitors, and this one would be websites that you go onto and they say they compared the prices, but actually the website comparison works a bit different because those deals you see on the website, booking price, Agoda price, Expedia price, well, these prices are the ones that were found by, I don't know, frequent users during that week or during that day. So it's not always the lowest price. It's just the price that was found on a particular time by a particular user. And that's how those automatization works there. And so it's not 100% live comparison. Mm-hmm. It compares. You can actually catch a great deal and score a great deal, but you can never be sure if this price was found 2 weeks ago, 2 hours ago, or a minute ago. And this results in, and if you click on the price and you want to book that hotel on some of those websites that say that compare prices, the price could have increased, for example. So it results in anxiety, and well, you don't really want to book that hotel anymore because the price increased. You're feeling a bit angry because you feel scammed, even though it's not scam at all. But you feel anxious about everything, and the live comparison prevents these feelings from occurring to you.
During the process of setting up RatePunk, what are the big challenges you faced?
We still talk about these challenges every Wednesday on our meetings. So we have two main challenges. One is mobile traffic. That's just, we thought it's impossible to overcome this obstacle. And then the second one is cold audience. Because, well, when we started RatePunk, I was just so into understanding what is browser extension, and I came home and I called my dad and I said, look what we did. We did RatePunk, it's working and everything is great. And he said, what is it? And I was like, it's a browser extension that scans and so on and so forth. And he was like, okay, I understand, but I don't know what is a browser extension. Oh my God. And it took me something about 15 minutes to explain to an older person than me what is a browser extension in general, because the definition is hardly explainable. It's an add-on and it pops up. I mean, I don't know what to say. So when we, for example, when we think about marketing strategies, sometimes it's impossible because we don't know how to explain what is a browser extension in 10 seconds. We're trying different approach for different people and different age groups, but it's still a big challenge and it's tough for us.
How would I go about getting your extension on my desktop? Is it a case of just downloading it, going onto your website and downloading it? Is that how you do it?
Yeah, it's just
simple as that.
Simple as that. A website and 2 clicks, and that's it.
Whenever I go onto any, let's say booking.com, Agoda, whatever other website it is, I put in the hotel, for example. Would it automatically then come up with various different other websites? Is that how it works?
Yes, you can put the destination, general destination, or the exact hotel. And when you click on the hotel to see more about the hotel, then it pops up in the corner, mm-hmm. and then you can scroll down to see all prices. And if there's, for example, some online agencies don't have this hotel in their system, it will be shown that this room isn't available, or rooms,
I see.
yeah, something like that. Yeah.
As you said, that you could potentially save yourself 30 euros, 50 euros, could be hundreds of euros, could be thousands of euros. Who knows? That's the great beauty of it.
Want to travel cheaper? Use RatePunk. Hotel rates compared without wasting your time for free. Install the extension on your browser, pick a hotel you'd like to book, let RatePunk compare the price of the same hotel on all booking websites. Voila! Your best possible deal at your fingertips. The only thing left to do is book your stay and save money. RatePunk, the cheapest way to travel. Install extension now.
Would you ever consider doing an app for mobiles? So at the moment, there's no app through the App Store or Google Store. Is that an option, or Android Store? Is that an option for the future?
Yes, it is. It is an option. The app is now in development, but the app is gonna be only for either iPhones or any mobile phones that uses the main that uses Safari as their main browser, and the app will be available only for this kind of people. Yeah, and we are preparing some marketing strategies and big announcements and scheduling everything. So the date is the secret for now, but I mean, I'm so excited. I can't even wait.
I can imagine. And I guess funding wise, how is this being funded? Is it you're looking for sponsors?
The whole startup is already got investments 2 years ago, and we are now living from them. Also, with our other on-site projects and on-site products, we do make some income, so we can invest even more in RatePunk at the moment. And we are not looking for sponsors. Well, not actively looking for sponsors, but for partnerships, volunteering partnerships.
You also written an ebook as well, which I've read, and it's beautifully written. It's really very well written, and it explains everything about RatePunk itself. So, what made you decide to write that? Why was it so important to have that book out?
We were 2 writers and 1 designer. So Rugile and I, we wrote, and I think when I was writing because I was writing to myself, because that's a beginner's guide to travel wisely without spending a lot, spending your whole year's income. So that's when I was writing some parts of it, I was thinking what I didn't know before I started not started working here, but just in general, before I started traveling alone, solo traveling, what I didn't know. And that's why we put everything that, the person traveling for the first time wouldn't lose too much. So he would want to keep traveling.
I'm going to wish you luck with RatePunk. It sounds like you've got things going. It looks really, really good. And I've used it already. If it's going to save me money, fantastic. So really wish you the best of luck with that. You also write for a magazine, which is Voyage of Voice. So where did that passion of writing come from then as well?
I guess it started early when I was in school. I was 13, and I just sat down and I wrote an email to one of the Lithuanian magazines, and I said, "Hello, I'm 13, but I know how to write. I write pretty okay, and I just want a volunteer-based internship. You don't pay me anything, but just please let me write." They let me. Then a year later, I sent the same email to another magazine. They said, "Okay, let's do this." And then I started making money out of writing. And I was like, okay, so I should study maybe something similar. And when people said that you write good, and there's more space to improve the writing skills, I just wanted to go with the flow and see where it takes me.
Building a portfolio. So you write, and you said you volunteered. And when you get these things published, it's a portfolio. So for later on, you can show when you go for, I guess I say, a big publication, they'll say, have you got examples of your work? You can then show your work from 13, 14, and it goes on and on and on. So that's the idea, isn't it? Where you have a big portfolio of writing and they can see your talent from that. Many people who go to journalism school or writing school may not even have those published articles in well-known magazines. And that's where they might become, I've seen loads of people, by the way, where they're stuck because they can't go past the stage of getting work published.
Yeah, and it's really cool to get feedback. Well, not all publications are being published. Like, not all the papers in your work is being published, but just the feedback. What can be improved is the key to keep growing and to keep improving those skills.
How do you manage your time then now with so much school, work, writing?
Yeah, I have a golden rule. Every Saturday, it's officially no computer day to me, and that's the only day because I start my week from Sunday. I don't go to work on Sundays because we don't work on Sundays, but it's just so I don't feel sad when Monday comes.
Of course.
You know? So it's really cool to start your week on Sunday and do some small tasks for university stuff, and then it's really important just to plan everything, to plan and to not overplan. If I see I can't meet with the friends, okay, we need to reschedule, or you meet without me. But discipline, if you keep up with the tasks and with the time that you need to deliver something, you have a great week planned already.
I think that's really, really important what you just said. The discipline is really, really important to succeed. And if you don't have that, then you can easily stray, you can get distracted. And to have that discipline, you're absolutely right, it keeps you grounded. Whilst you've had the chance to travel, where would you say has been your most meaningful travel experience that you remember and has maybe perhaps changed you for the better?
I wouldn't say it's a travel experience. It's kind of a long journey. I went to Denmark for 11 months. And I was studying for 1 year in Danish. Everything was in Danish. And when I came, I knew how to say, "Hi, my name is Kamilė." That's it. That's all I came with. And 2-3 months, I've been homesick a lot and lonely and sad and, oh my goodness, angry because I didn't know the language. And people around me, they didn't want to speak English with me, so they were speaking Danish. So, okay, I'm going to start speaking Danish. And then it was a breakthrough after, 5 months. Then I started to slowly speaking with them too. And this was cool experience. I mean, this is the journey I wouldn't repeat again, but definitely the most meaningful to me.
And also, do you have any hobbies as well on top of this? Did you get time to do anything, going out, etc.? Do you have a passion for anything else?
Yeah, 2 hobbies. So first is related to traveling is deep diving, underwater diving. It's a fun fact because I can't swim. I never learned to swim. But when you dive, you don't really need to swim.
No,
so
it's true.
Okay.
True.
So it's okay. So that's my hobby I do. And then another one, totally unrelated to traveling, is baking. Yeah. So we have a new tradition at the office. Every Monday, I bring the new cake for test tasting. So it's a cool way to bond with everyone, even though we have the bond. We all know that.
Kamilė, we've come to the end of our discussion. It's been great having you on. You've told us a lot about yourself, the business, RatePunk. So for people who want to follow you, tell them where they can.
They can follow me on LinkedIn. I am the most active there. Kamilė Navikaitė, it's my name and surname. And the same goes on Instagram and Facebook, I guess.
Kamilė, thank you so much for your time. One day, hopefully, we'll get to meet and we'll talk more about RatePunk and travel itself.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. It was a pleasure.
Hope you all enjoyed the show. That's it for Take On Those Shebs. Hope to see you all very soon. Until next time, bye for now.